The General Geekery podcast presents Spooktober. I don't know.
Huh.
It's
Weird.
going now, however.
Yeah, that's true.
We're doing episode
51.
51. Episode 51.
Yeah, that's staying in.
We are doing episode 51 now.
51 now.
Then it'll be episode 52.
52.
Because we do things chronologically. I'm done now. I'm not going to do anymore. Because you said you were keeping it in. So
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
just got to watch what I say.
Frank
Sinatra is God!
Yo, honestly, that can be facts. He is a god of music, so
Frank Sinatra was pretty awesome.
he was great. That's life.
That's life!
That's what all the people say. All right, so let's
Enough of this.
dive into the spook, shall we?
Well, yeah.
Indeed. What's going on, ladies, gentlemen, all you wonderful geeks out there and possibly geeky ghosts that are listening to this spooky time of the month? Welcome back to the General Geekery podcast, the podcast where we geek out about all that we love to geek out about with no remorse, no regrets, and with all the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
As always, this is your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night, Donald Kaczynski. And joining me as always, the mistress of the dice slinging, the undertaker of ultimate proportions, the artiste herself, Miss Hannah Kubiak.
Hi. Oh, man.
Just the grandiose, just all of the pomp and circumstance, and just this. Hi.
Hey. How's it going?
How you doing there?
How you doing there?
So, for this third edition of Spooktober, we've covered some interesting topics with Spooktober already. Last time we did the Stephen King movies. The episode before that, we focused on what did we focus on again?
The Mythos of Slender Man.
The Mythos of Slender Man. That's true. And honestly, I mentioned something in the Mythos of Slender Man that actually sparked this particular topic today. There was a certain game that was released in the 2010s, Slender the 8 Pages, that was one of during the height of the Slender Man mythos.
The hype.
The hype, yeah. For lack of a better word, that it was released, and it was one of the most well-received indie horror games of the time, which brings us to today's topic. I thought that today it would be interesting and fun to give a nod to the horror genre of the video game industry. Now, for those that are not familiar with horror games just because you don't want to get spooked by anything like that, sometimes I find more horror games to be more entertaining than horror films.
It's different every time.
It is. There are certain tropes in horror films that you just get played out and done and everything like that. You can get away with that in video games because you're playing it and you're immersed in it.
Yeah.
Mainly because a lot of horror film games go with the first person perspective, especially with the advent of VR technology.
Yeah.
Which plays so big into the horror genre.
Oh my gosh. A couple of years ago, it must have been 2 years ago because we were living in my second apartment here in Milwaukee.
Okay.
For my birthday, we basically just had a bunch of people over at night, and we played the Alien video game.
Oh my god, yes!
Where you have to sneak around, there's a button you have to press to hold your breath.
I love that game.
It was so scary and so much fun. I was so bad at it too. I'd get up and I'd walk and I'd turn a corner and it would be right there.
Did you play using VR or no?
Not VR, but the
controller.
The controller would shake. And
okay,
stuff.
all right. Because I hear that game is fucking terrifying in VR. Oh my
where
god.
Where you wear the like visor and you're walking and you like you're actually walking and you see stuff. That must be hilarious to watch though. Just like somebody standing in the middle of something.
Oh, watching
just, like,
watching
around.
people do VR playthroughs of like horror games is like one of the most fun experiences you can get. It's so damn good.
I can imagine.
But I figured we should probably give a nod to a couple of games games or series that revolutionized like the horror genre of gaming as we know it today. One of which is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, Capcom's Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, is that the one that you were playing when the break of glass clip?
Yeah.
Yes.
So for some context on that, Hannah's referring to the chair is being squeaky. Yeah, don't worry.
No, I just thought that I had dropped something.
No, you're fine. So what Hannah's referring to is this was on a stream I did last year, sometime last year.
Yeah, I was in my second apartment, so it must have been.
Gotcha. So I was playing through the remake of Resident Evil 2 that was released last year in 2019, and Hannah was watching it. I was going through for those not familiar with the plotline of Resident Evil 2, you're basically inside a fictional city of Raccoon City during a virus outbreak that has basically transformed people into zombies and all sorts of nightmarish creatures. And I'm going through this police station in order to try to figure out a way to get out of the city. And I'm in this interrogation room, and I'm just trying to be as quiet as possible because I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Hannah was in the chat on my Twitch stream for this, and she said, break glass in case of emergency, and I'm like, yeah, indeed. And then as soon as she said that, a freaking licker, which is this blind, skinless creature thing with a long tongue, just comes out of the glass. And I started saying, oh god, it's an emergency! It's an emergency!
Break glass in case of emergency. I swear, I thought that I had shared it in the socials at one point.
You did. I believe you did.
Maybe it's this random video.
You probably did, yeah.
No, never mind. Yeah. I feel like I did, but I don't see it here. Weird. Maybe it was in a story.
It might have been in a story, but
oh well, I'll share it again.
It's all right. We'll release it again for Spooktober.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Resident Evil franchise is one of my favorite franchises just because of like moments like that. And Resident Evil 2, the original Resident Evil 2 and the remake are two of my favorite games from that genre. But the original Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2 are so different because they did a fixed camera perspective. So like anytime you would go into like another area, it would switch to another camera, and it would switch to another one.
Oh.
And then the controls of the game you ran on tank controls. So instead of going into like into a room and you go in a certain direction to like move a certain way towards you, the button going forward is always forward. The button going down will always make you go backwards, and then you turn left or right with the left or right sticks. It's always like that. It is so disorienting.
I didn't realize that wasn't how it always is.
Well, the original Resident Evil was released in the mid-90s.
Okay.
And it was one of the first games that solidified the term of survival horror. The survival horror genre. Because you can't just shoot everything and expect everything to die, because you only get a certain amount of items in the game that you can find. So if you run out of items before you get to the end of the game, you are screwed. I remember playing through the original Resident Evil just for a little bit, and I used up all my freaking shotgun rounds and all my handgun rounds like before I even reached a boss, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no. I basically had to restart the game.
It's fisticuffs.
like you would probably have a knife or anything like that, but against like certain enemies, like it's almost impossible for a beginner like me at the time, and I'm like, I gotta start over from the beginning.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh man. Yeah. We gotta do an Adepticon with Resident Evil.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be so much fun.
Mainly, I just wanted to show you like the original game, just to show you like the original it hasn't really aged well, but it's still a fun game to play. It has the worst voice acting I've ever heard in a video game. It's so cringeworthy. It's become legend. I think it still holds to this day the Guinness Book of World Records record for the worst voice acting dub in a video game.
How do you decide what is the worst?
Let me put it this way. If more than one quote in a video game is so bad at voice dialogue that it's memeable...
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness.
Let me put it this way. One of the actual lines in there was... someone escaped a room from... that had a ceiling about to crush them.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the character that saved them looks to her and says, "That was too close. You almost became a Jill sandwich." I shit you not. Look it up.
I am looking it up right now. Resident Evil...
Jill sandwich.
Resident Evil... Jill sandwich.
It's so bad, but it's so great.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. And she's holding a sandwich. Okay.
No, that's an edit, but yeah.
Yeah. She's like, at Subway. That's hilarious.
It's just that it's the Resident Evil series has always had this like insane campiness to it that's just celebrated and great.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like, what the fuck? And oddly enough, that series actually, one of the titles in that series has actually been consistently placed among some of the greatest video games ever made.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Resident Evil 4. That was when the Resident Evil series started doing the over-the-top shoulder camera work, kind of like how Resident Evil 2 Remake did. But, yeah, that was like the first one to do that. And honestly, that game is still fun to this day. Like, it's probably like one of the most played Resident Evils, I think, out of all of them. Some people call it overrated. Me, I'm like, it's fun. If it's fun and people are still playing it and it keeps getting ported to so many consoles,
yeah,
you know you did something right.
Is that one of them?
What?
That one.
Oh, God. Mr. X.
I got ripped in 2 weeks thanks to the T virus.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Capcom. It's just over the top.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Man.
But yeah, Resident Evil is a lot of fun, and I always recommended it to people.
Oh gosh. I can tell I'm going to be having fun with that later.
Oh yeah.
Looking through all the memes.
Oh yeah. I'll be having you play on like the easier settings just because like I always make sure like everybody's fine. Like me, I always played on the hardest difficulties just because I want people to see me suffer.
That's the funnest part of watching people stream.
Indeed.
Like I said in our streaming episode, somebody just, traipsing through a game and getting all the way through it and stuff perfectly. It bores me. Another
horror game series that I always loved was Silent Hill. Silent Hill played a little bit is also in that survival horror like genre, but it deals a little bit more in like the mysterious like mystery kind of like aspect, especially Silent Hill 2. I think that's probably like the best game in that franchise, and I miss my copy of it. I miss having my copy of Silent Hill 2. Like, no lie.
So is that more of like for some reason I have it in my brain that you're like a detective or something? Is that what that
No,
is?
that one's a little bit more of like a mystery kind of thing, just because you wander into this like... Silent Hill has always been like this mysterious, like, kind of foggy, like, area that a lot of weird paranormal shit has happened.
Right.
And there's a lot of screwed up a lot of weird endings too, but still very in line with everything like that. Unfortunately, Konami's being total assholes and is not releasing any more video games. Why do you do this to me?
I don't know what to say.
It's okay.
I don't know what to say.
I'll wallow in my pain.
Go ahead.
Ah! Okay, I'm good.
Look, it had a spike in the...
Sorry, headphone users.
Drink.
We still need to release the rules of the drinking game. But, yeah. Playing horror games are so much fun, but like Hannah said, like, reacting to people playing horror games is a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of streamers, both well-known, and some streamers that are either just starting off or have their own little followings like that do play horror games that they love, like, just seeing the reactions to. Yeah. So, what kind of, like, horror do you prefer watching people go through in games? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I really like the ones like Alien, where you're wandering around and then something will eat you. You know, I like that a lot.
So you like more of those, like, intentional, like, jump scares where, like...
Those are more fun to watch other people do.
Yeah.
I enjoy, well, like the kind of Doctor Who episodes that I really like the Vashta Narada, where you can't see them, but they're just, like, incredibly deadly. Like...
So kind of like how the Slender game would be in that regard.
Yeah, where you're... I like the ones where, you never know when you're gonna... When it's suddenly gonna get really, really scary, you know?
Yeah.
Like the tension. I like the tension.
A question: have you ever seen anybody play the game Outlast?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you want to talk about a horror game that is always constantly played by a lot of people. Outlast is a I believe it was indie developed, but it's a horror film where you play as a investigative reporter with a video camera, investigating this like supposedly abandoned insane asylum that has had like recent reports of like inmates, torture, satanic rituals and shit.
Insane asylum.
Yeah, I think you would really like this.
Yep.
Watching people's reactions to this game has always been very fun.
I did love the movie Shutter Island, so I think I will...
Shutter Island was actually a solid film.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, even though the character was that DiCaprio played was pretty much exactly the same character that he played in Inception that same year. But, you know...
Potato to potato.
Yep.
It's all right.
Yep.
It's okay. It's okay, Leo. It's okay.
That's fine.
It's okay with that one.
Yep.
It's okay.
And then came The Revenant.
And he finally got his Oscar.
I enjoyed that movie.
Thank God that meme finally died.
Yep.
I was getting so tired of that meme.
We should bring it back.
No!
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Outlast.
So, you don't have any weapons or anything to fight against everything. You just have to run and hide.
Whoa, okay.
And, you have to...
So, my natural instincts will take over. Awesome.
Exactly. And you have to utilize your camera, because you're outfitted with a camera that has night vision.
Oh.
Because there will be some places that are totally dark that you can only see through the night vision on the camera.
Right.
But over the course of it, like, the battery will drain out, so you have to find batteries around the insane asylum in order to make sure the camera keeps working.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's, like, a lot of stuff that goes on in this that's just... The game's just fun.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like. Sometimes you just gotta turn off your brain.
Yeah, you just gotta turn off your brain, just gotta immerse yourself. And heck, even watching people's reactions to this, there are so many reaction playthroughs of this game.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it's fun. I need to get the game again, but absolutely, I would love to have you play it. What else? Like, there are so...
I know very little about this.
No, it's perfectly okay. But, yeah, horror games are always great. Like, a lot of them usually go into, like, the first-person perspective as of, the recent years. Mainly because it makes you feel in that immersion, and also because the introduction of the VR headset technology that has become all the rage these days.
Yeah.
So many games that use VR headsets usually are horror games.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of indie titles utilize the VR headset to do it. There are some games that you can only usually play only using the VR headset. They are specifically designed for those headsets.
Huh.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, where do you go to, like, with the VR? Are there, like, places you go specifically? Like a part of an arcade or something? Do you have, like, your home VR?
So, what I've seen people do with, like, when they do VR headsets at home, like, they'll have, like, a space for it. Like, they would have to clear out a certain amount of, like, room in order to, like, make sure, like, they can move around in safely.
Yeah.
And somebody would have to obviously be on standby in order to make sure, like, they're doing okay and everything like that. Because, obviously, like, their vision is impaired by, like, the headset. They're wearing earphones to hear everything, and they're immersed in it. And they're doing some kind of controller in order to move themselves to move it, because I mean, of course, VR is not entirely perfect, but this is about as perfect as we can get right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, like a lot of people do at-home setups.
Cool.
I remember back when I was in college, I always used to do 24-hour gaming marathons every November for charity.
Right, yeah.
Via my college's student-run organization, Coffee House, Eighth Note Coffee House. There were a couple of years where somebody actually brought in a VR environment to play.
Cool.
And there were several different like horror games and everything like that. He even had a VR set up for when people want to play like racing games. So VR technology, like, there's a lot you can do with it. And what you can do with, like, horror, especially in terms of, like, how people develop games for VR specifically, is pretty ingenious. I love it.
Oh, I've never played a VR game, actually.
I've only done it once.
What did you play?
This is going to be really weird, but it was the VR version of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at what?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
What is that?
Okay.
Hannah is... I feel like
my
quote for this episode is, what is that?
What is that? What is that?
Okay, cool. What is that?
So, alright. Five Nights at Freddy's was another horror game that went totally viral. It's got this giant following. Some say... The fan base is weird, but, like, the original game is... Damn. Just damn. So, basically, what you're doing is you have to survive 5 nights as a security guard at at basically a pizza joint that's basically kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, that's scary already.
Here's the thing. Apparently, the animatronics can come to life.
Nope.
So, you're basically trapped in... this security room with cameras and everything like that all around. Both doors on the side are open.
You can't close them?
You can close them, but you only have a certain amount of power through the night.
Oh.
And closing the doors and turning on lights and everything like that drains power. And the main goal of the game is that you have to survive 5 nights.
Oh, okay.
And each night gets increasingly harder. And there are certain patterns that the animatronics work. But basically, when you fail and everything like that, it's when an animatronic, like, on screen, like, it gets, like, right in your face with, like, these screeching sounds, and apparently the way you die is that they stuff you inside of an animatronic.
Ah!
Yeah.
Nope, no thank you.
Yeah, there's just something about, like, living dolls and animatronics that just give the shudders to people.
I hated those kind of places as a kid as well.
Like Chuck E.
Cheese's. What was it called? There was some place where they would always take us at after school care. I hated it.
With a animatronic singers with like a stage and shit.
It was like Jungle Land or something. There was like a gorilla on the on the marquee or something. Jungle Land. Or like the playhouses at McDonald's.
Oh God, yeah.
It was mostly just like the fact that there were all these other kids there all the time, just like screaming and getting like being disgusting everywhere and like shoving past you, and then when you're crawling through the tunnels, your hair is standing up on end and sticking to everything.
Oh yeah, because of all the static electricity in there.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, I would rather walk through IKEA with my family than sit in the kids area with the ball pit.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Man. Yep. Yes, and to confirm, yes, when I was a kid, I was actually an old man.
Ah, okay. All right, hold on. Hold on.
All these kids, all the things that they're doing all the time, it's so disgusting.
Okay,
It's so
all right.
irritating.
Okay, I'm gonna show you I'm gonna show you a death thing in Five Nights. Hold on.
Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just press the play button.
Okay.
Duck takes up all your space. There he is. Had to do it.
Yep. And these are different kinds of deaths. Like I'll show all this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's a 63% and like half like.
What is that he keeps going into, that box?
The one that he brings up.
Yeah.
That's basically the camera controls. It's basically like a tablet that shows all the different cameras like throughout the thing.
Oh.
And so you can keep your eye on like all the animatronics like in which positions that they are.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because each of them behaves differently that you can try to react to them in different ways and everything like that.
Oh man.
And that one game kind of spawned off a franchise. Like there are several different versions of this game.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
Oh my gosh. Ridiculous.
But honestly, it's like a real fear of like still characters coming to life and just y'all gonna die now.
Yep.
That is a real fear.
Like Annabelle.
Oh god.
Like Robert the Doll. Have you ever heard of Robert the Doll?
Like Chucky.
Chucky, yeah.
Freaking Chucky.
Oh man.
Ay, caramba.
Apparently, Robert the Doll is based off of true events, but I choose not to. Like, they have it in a museum, like in a glass box, and when you leave in the evening, you'll come back in the next day, and he'll be like in a different position, or he'll be like there with his hand against the glass, just like,
Die, Pinocchio. Die, Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Be gone.
You have to ask his permission to take a picture.
You're not welcome here.
Ugh. So scary.
Why? I'm scared now.
So spooky.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, apparently they made some time ago they made a VR version of Five Nights at Freddy's where you could do all the different versions of Five Nights at Freddy's in VR.
Whoa.
And I'm like, okay, I'm an idiot. Let's do this. I made it to night 4, and I died. I'm like, damn it!
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's ridiculous.
It gets hard. It gets so hard because it's like, as the battery drains down, there are certain things like you can't do because you don't have enough battery power. Because the more things you use, the more battery power runs down. And it's just like,
I can't even make myself a pot of coffee anymore.
you already have coffee in there, so that's not the thing that you need to worry about. Thank God.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to playing one of these games sometime.
Oh yeah, I'm thoroughly looking forward to having you play that once we start the Inepticon series.
Oh yes.
Oh my God,
that's gonna be great.
That's gonna be amazing.
What did we play last time with Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, the first test run that we did was with Kingdom Hearts. Like, I'm honestly thinking about like revamping like the structure of of it.
How we do Inepticon?
Yeah, how we do it. I'm planning like how to figure it out. Mm-hmm. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Cool.
We will get there.
No doubt.
No doubt in my mind. In my mind. But yeah. And another game I haven't played this, but I've seen people play this is they made a game with like different like horror aesthetics and characters that is basically like a survival, like a team survival game that multiplayer use called Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
That one is fun to watch. I've seen a lot of people play Dead by Daylight where you basically have to survive a certain situation while another player's playing like a certain type of like horror villain. Like I think one of them was like a Freddy versus Freddy Krueger one. Another one was Jason Voorhees.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped. I want to play these now.
Yeah, and the thing, and horror fans with video games they are all out there. Like there's such a wide range of horror games like that people have access to. Like, you have, like, the old classics, you have some of these newer ones that require VR headset and technology. It's just, it's so readily available. Like, it's kind of amazing, like, how much horror exists in video games today. Even in, honestly, even in non-horror video games at times, too.
Yeah.
Like you always find, like, a situation that is almost, like, straight out of a horror film.
Yep. The classic killing a monster trope. Definitely.
Actually, one of the, like, the earliest, like, horror things that I think I ever experienced in a non-horror game was actually in the game Halo.
Okay.
So, in the Halo universe, for those that are not familiar with the franchise,
Hello.
like Hannah, basically, of course, like, you're playing a Space Marine and you're fighting against this alien force. There's a lot more to it than that, but basically, you end up on this galactic super weapon that's known as Halo that is able to destroy all life within a galactic radius.
Oh my gosh. So like the what do they call it in Ender's Game? The Little Doctor, I think.
I think maybe a little bit bigger than that, but yeah.
Okay.
Like, basically, there are several of them spread throughout the galaxy that's able to wipe out all life in the known universe.
Yikes. Okay.
And the reason why they were invented, you figure out, is because of a parasitic, like, alien called the Flood. And it's introduced in, like, a very gruesome way. They're like these little, like, fungi infection, like, creatures that when they latch onto you, like, that you become infected like a hive mind and shit.
So kind of like, what are they? The zombie spiders? Like spiders that are dead, but they get fungi all in them.
Kind of, yeah.
They move around. Like fungus in their brains.
Kind of, yeah.
But on a bigger scale.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, this is like the different designs of them.
Ooh.
They're designed really well.
Yeah. Do they crawl inside your brain or something?
They basically latch onto your body like they don't. I don't think they
like
really.
Like a leech.
Yeah, almost like a leech, like, and it kind of like the fungus like grows and everything like that. Like,
oh gosh.
And if you're depending on like how they work, they can infect you long enough in order to make you like a supreme like their supreme like hive mind being.
Oh.
Known as a grave mind, which is this fucking monstrosity.
Oh my gosh. Wait. What is that? Is that its head right there?
Yeah.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, like that's body horror aesthetic, and I'm like,
that's some of the creepiest I find is stuff that used to be human, and then it just became something else.
Like
the Wendigo.
Oh yeah, actually, I remember us talking about that, and there was actually a game that I have played called. It's basically kind of like a parody of like the horror type genre and everything like that. That utilizes the Wendigo. It's called Until Dawn.
Oh. Okay.
And it actually has a couple different people in there. Let's see. Peter Stormare is a character in there. Hayden Panettiere from who was the cheerleader girl from Heroes is in there.
Okay.
Rami Malek is in the game.
Okay.
Thank you, Freddie Mercury. Love you. So yeah, like that one's another really fun one. Dude. Basically, it's this group of like college students that just go on a retreat to a like ski resort in the mountains that one of the college students' parents owns because they're rich and everything like that. But apparently, there's a lot going on. But they were there a winter before. Two of them died in an unfortunate accident. They hadn't seen them since, so they're going there for like a little bit of like a morning session and just to honor them and everything like that. All of a sudden, like there a bunch of like creepy shit happens. People get separated. There's so much to it.
Oh my God.
There's a lot to it. But it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of hilarious in how campy it can get.
Oh gosh. Oh. There are Wendigos involved?
Yes, the Wendigo is involved.
Oh man. I don't know anything about Wendigos, but I'm fascinated by them.
And the main point of the game is to get through the entire story by trying to keep as many of the characters as you can alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh.
Which is easier said than done at times.
Do they wander off and do stupid stuff?
Yeah, some of them do wander off and do stupid stuff, but like you take control of each of them at like certain different points, and whatever changes is basically how each one survives at the end. So there's that.
What's that game where it's not a video game? It's kind of like playing Werewolf or Mafia, except you use a Jenga tower and you draw bricks for like the difficulty of something you're trying to do, and if the Jenga tower falls, you die. I don't remember what that's called.
I actually don't know.
Gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
If anybody out there knows, and if we haven't figured it out by the end of this episode, please let us know.
Yeah.
Please, because that's going to drive us mad. Oh, you want to talk about body horror?
Yes.
Have you heard of a game called
Dread? It's called Dread.
Oh, Dread. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Have you heard of the game Last of Us?
Yeah.
Okay, so major body horror in that it's kind of like it's basically a zombie apocalypse taken to a different thing because basically all of the people that are infected and acting zombie-like are infected by a bad fungal infection.
Oh.
It's actually a fictionalized mutation of an actual known condition called the cordyceps.
Ah! Ah!
Yeah, have you heard about that?
No.
Apparently, the fungus grows in the brain.
Wait a minute.
Wait, I think she got a stroke of inspiration. I think
No, not inspiration. Someone I know knows somebody who has this.
Oh. Oh, dear.
Cordyceps. Yeah, it's a fungi. No. Okay, but yeah, tell me about the game.
But basically, apparently, the mutation of this thing basically works on people. That it basically causes them to become like rabid and everything like that, and it goes through like certain stages.
Is this the game or is this the science?
Like this is the science, like in the game.
Oh, God.
in the game. Like the game is something else entirely, but I'm talking about like what has basically caused this entire situation to happen. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, when cordyceps fungus attacks a host, the mycelium invades and eventually replaces the host tissue, while the elongated fruit body may be cylindrical, branched, or of a complex shape, which usually break into fragments and are presumably infective. Research.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to know what it does to you.
But okay, in game, this is upon like when you succumb to it.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, they basically just look like ghouls.
As the fungus starts to grow, this is the next stage.
Ah! Oh man, now they look like the Davy Jones's crew from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Then the virus in the game apparently can grow to a point after a long time where the infected can't see. And they have to use like echolocation via bats via sound to know their way. Thus the clicker.
Ah! It's all over its face! Oh, that's disgusting. I want to play this game.
I have it. And then the final stage...
There's another stage?
Yeah, like the longest time where basically spores start shooting out of their bodies and shooting in directions when agitated. Thus, the bloater.
Ew! Oh, and all of those things are waiting to explode?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like, there was this episode of The X-Files where these people got, like, this illness and they had boils all over them, and they would, if the boils exploded on you, you'd get the same disease, and it was really horrible. It would like consume you within like a day.
Yeah, like infection horror, like that makes my skin crawl.
Oh, I hate it so much.
That's why I hate Stephen King's The Stand, just because it's like, oh my god, viral infections worldwide.
No,
Jesus.
no, thank you.
No,
no,
none of that shit.
Nope, not right now.
Nope. But yeah, like, even if a game isn't horror specifically, horror elements can be heavily influenced in games. Heavily influential in games.
Oh.
My god.
Popular culture. Cordyceps is featured in the 2013 video game The Last of Us and its 2020 sequel as the source of cannibalistic creatures resulting from humans being infected by a mutated strain of it.
Yeah, so it's not actual fiction of it, but it's just like, it's basically a fictionalized like mutation of it.
Yeah. Cool.
So
I want to know what it actually does to people in real life. But it doesn't say. It just says, presumably infective.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any known cases in, like, humans. But I think it's mainly in plant life or insects or some shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Then what did that guy that my friend knows, what did he have?
I don't...
He said something about fungus in his brain. I'll have to ask.
Yeah. Interesting. Don't let this be a real life Last of Us, please. Please, guys. I'm begging you.
No.
We don't need that in our lives.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Everything is okay.
It's all right. It's okay.
You can look the other way. Oh.
Good one.
Oh, man.
But there's another game, there's a really popular game that I have mentioned before, and we'll probably get into that one later. I'll get into that one in more detail later, just because that...
Oh, the next episode?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah.
The Soulsborne series, widely considered by many to be some of the hardest video games that are made to be intentionally hard from FromSoft, use quite a bit of horror elements, especially in Bloodborne, that utilizes more of the demonized, like, H.P. Lovecraft inspired designs and stuff.
Oh,
like Eldritch Horror.
Yep. Oh, man.
And Eldritch Horror is something else. So seeing that in a video game is just like, oh my god!
Is it Cordyceps or Cordyceps?
One of those. I don't know how to properly pronounce it.
Oh, man.
I think it's like seps, like biceps.
Cordyceps, yeah.
Cordyceps, okay. We'll figure one of these days. Pronunciation.
Yep, one of these days. I'm gonna sneeze.
But yeah, horror games. My god.
Yeah.
There's such a variety. Horror is integral to a lot of games. I'm choking on air. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, man, yeah. I mean, that sounds awesome. I think, now that I've heard about all of those, the thing that I'm most interested in, actually, is The Last of Us.
The Last of Us is a really good game. Mm-hmm. I haven't played the second one yet. I really want to. But the first one is probably one of my favorite games from the past decade. I found it to be really good.
Yeah. Man,
so yeah, that's going to be on the Inepticon list.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's a game that you have to complete all the way through. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just because that's a very story-driven game, and it's a hell of a story.
Yeah,
hell of a story.
Awesome.
So yeah, in conclusion, guys, horror in video games can be very effective. Very effective. When you're playing it, when you're watching people play it, it's always a fun time. And honestly, there are a lot of horror elements that are usually tropes in movies that work really well in games.
Yeah.
Particularly jump scares, just because like you're more immersed in the game because you're playing it. But again, there's a wide variety of them. like we said, we've listed a couple. Outlast, Resident Evil series, Silent Hill series, Five Nights at Freddy's. Pick your poison. Just remember to always enjoy it. And just remember, it's not real. It's just a game. Anything to conclude on that with, Hannah?
Nope. I've said all I needed to say.
All right, I think we can finish off on that. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the General Geekery Podcast, all about horror games. It's been so much fun having you guys listening in. Don't forget, if you guys like what you hear, make sure to follow us wherever podcasts can be found. We're on Spotify, Spreaker. You can also, if you don't have access to any of those streaming services, please, by all means, listen to the podcast on my personal YouTube channel at Anime Rev Productions, where I upload there for those that don't have access to any podcasting platforms. We should be getting on Apple Podcasts soon. I'm actually working on that. Hopefully, we'll get on that soon. It's gotta be a thing before the year goes out. But
working
on it. Hannah, where can they check you out at?
Well, you can find me rolling dice with my party every Monday at 7:30 Central at twitch.tv/loadeddiceadventures. I play Petra, the Dragonborn Ranger Rogue. It is a marvelous good time, whether we be wandering around in subterranean caves or stealing another haunted artifact from unsuspecting people in bars, or talking to goats. It's always fun. You can also find me at my other podcast, the Splankniks podcast, which I do with my mom, where we discuss culture, literature, and tabletop gaming, all from the perspective of two different generations. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at Pythian Legume.
Excellent. And as for me, guys, you guys can also follow me on Twitch at RyuzakiMK7. I play a wide variety of games, most of them RPG-based, but I've also been dabbling in other games as well. I play a lot of stuff with my friends. Currently, we're doing a couple of Among Us streams, where basically, it's basically who's the killer? One person's the killer, killing everybody. Everybody else is trying to do their task in order to survive.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
It's the rage.
It's the rage these days, and it actually deserves all the hype it gets.
I haven't played it yet.
One day. But yeah, definitely go check me out on twitch.tv at RyuzakiMK7 for that. You guys can also follow me on social media at Twitch, at Twitter, and Instagram at RyuzakiMK7 as well. And you guys can follow the podcast on social media at General Geekery on Instagram, at Gen Geek Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. So, guys, this has been episode 51 of the General Geekery Podcast. Next time, it will be the final episode of Spooktober and also the 52nd episode of the podcast. It will have been a year since we have started this podcast.
Woo!
And we cannot be any more excited.
Yeah!
But that will be next time, and we will be bringing all the hype for that. Yeah! So until next time, guys, for Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski. And until then, guys, as you play your games, hot cocoa in hand, surrounded in your blanket, praying, hoping that the alien does not catch you with your flamethrower in hand, shaking, just remember, in your reserves of strength, always remember to keep your geek on.
Always.
We have to do silent clink clink.
Clink clink.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I don't think that hurt us.
I don't think so either.
I think we're okay.
That's good brew. Oh,
Oh god, the alien, run!
no!
Bye guys!
No!
Ah! Thank you again for listening. Special thanks to The Twilight for this episode's intro and outro track, Self-Delete. You can check this song out in the description below, or, if you so desire, please follow The Twilight on soundcloud.com/The Twilight. Thank you again, and a happy Spooktober to you all.